can't help me. Talk all day, then at night falling.
Welcome back, ladies. We are going to start with a fill today. This is how I do a fill. So the first step that we're gonna do is a removal. And by the way, I already did her wash, so I always wash before I start doing anything to them, and then I apply the gel pad and the tape. Sorry I didn't include that into today's video, just because I wasn't even planning on making this into a YouTube video, to be honest. But since it was long enough for a YouTube video, then I was like, might as well. So as you see right now, what I'm doing is just removing all those outgrown lashes. And the way I do it is either try to pop off the lashes. So as you can see here, I'm trying to do that. So you want to grab one of your tweezers, hold the natural lash. With your other tweezer, you want to kind of slide up to be able to pop it off, just like that. It just also depends on the extension itself, if it will let me do that. If it doesn't, if I'm struggling, then I try a different method. So I'll either do the banana peel, which is peeling it like a banana, literally. So you grab an extension, you grab the natural lash with the tweezers, and you just peel. Or you can grab the natural lash with a tweezer, the other tweezers, and then grab the extension, and you try to push down till you have the base kind of pop off. And then now you just remove it that way. So just continue doing that. If you are lashing with me, then keep on going, ladies. I'm not gonna make no fast speed. I'll just put background music for you guys while you are lashing. Okay, so while I am removing the lashes, I'm gonna talk to you about her history. The fill before this fill, she had mentioned that she went out one day with her friends and she got really drunk and woke up the next day with a patch or a gap in her lash extension. So me examining it, I told her, yeah, girl, you also lost some natural lashes with it. And a little ahead, I'm gonna show you where it's at. So in the set before, we were doing spikes, so a wispy set. So here you can see the gap. There's some really, really baby lashes, 2 long ones. So we need to adjust it. So I told her we're gonna have to avoid the spikes, and this is what her set looked like before. So she was of course down with it because we gotta do everything we can to protect our natural lashes. So we avoided the spikes. This is her second fill after that, and is still trying to recover. So I told her we're still gonna have to avoid the spikes, and she's still okay with it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just bring those lashes back, the extensions back, just so I can see what I'm doing. And then I'm gonna pause the video here just so I can write down all the list of products I'm using today. So for lashes, I am of course using Yoyis 0.3 decurl, lengths 11, 12, 13, and 14. Glue, I'm using J&B Beauty Teflon Bond, and the tweezers I use Lost Artistry Gripopotamus. So I'll link those of course down below in the description box so you guys can use that. Of course I have a discount code for Yoyis, so you can use that. It's gonna be cute, Liz.8. I'll also put that in the description. Of course, don't mind my nails. I'm never prepared. And when I do have my nails polished, I never do a video. So I'm gonna do better. So I am hand making these lashes. So in these fans, I probably have maybe 7, 8 in each extension. But also I vary with it depending on that natural lash. So if I see that natural lash is really thin, then I put a little less just so I don't weigh it down. Of course, 0.03s are a thin lash, so you can add more lashes and it's not going to be too heavy on the natural lash. But of course, I want to be as delicate as I can since her natural lashes are already thin. So I don't want to damage them even more, especially right now since we're trying to recover her lashes. So you want to be mindful with that when you're doing someone's lashes with a gap in it, especially if it's not a permanent gap. If you want, you have to see if the natural lashes are growing in that spot, and if they are, just let those baby lashes grow. Do your best with adding more hairs to those strong natural lashes just to give it a full coverage look. So that's my best advice for you guys, and that's how I go about it with the gap. You want to kind of do like a side by side. So if you have a natural lash that's strong on either side of the gap, you want to add a good amount of natural extensions on those lashes, just to give an illusion that there's no gap to the eye when they open. You can see it on your end from the top view, but they will not see it when they open their eyes, and it's gonna blend in. You'll see the end result at the end, and I promise you it's gonna look flawless. So just be very cautious with a gap of when they're recovering their natural lashes. It's still lashable, but of course if they're really bad, yes, they need to take a break. Yes, it's best to avoid extensions. It's best to avoid strip lashes, especially because strip lashes will rip those off as well, because they're getting glued onto your natural lashes, you know. And also with those cluster lashes, so that what TikTok is promoting, that can be damaging as well, because you know, us lash techs, we know that each natural lash is growing at a different rate. So even though there's two adult lashes next to each other, does not mean that they're both gonna fall off at the same time. One might fall off sooner than the other one. So we always have to be mindful of lashing, and that's why we need to lash one natural lash at a time. You don't want any stickies. Stickies mean when they are stuck together. So you want to avoid any stickies. Take your time. My fills are 2 hours long. To some people that is a long time, but to be honest, when you're hand making, it takes a minute, because you're not gonna have a perfect fan every time you fan them, so that kills time right there. But at the same time, you want your extension to wrap on their natural lash. Wrapping means having it hug the natural lash, so it can give you a good retention. And you want to also make sure you're placing it on the natural lash properly to give you a good retention as well. So if you don't have all that, then you're going to have bad retention. The lashes will start popping off sooner than later. Here's a closer view of what I'm doing. So I'll pop in here and there if I have any more tips that I think of. But hopefully this video helps you guys of how to do a fill and how to work with a gap. And you'll see soon, since it's much closer, where that gap is and how those natural lashes, the baby lashes, are growing and what I do. So for now, I'm going to play some music in the background, and I'll talk to you in a few.
I'm outside in an AMG, right outside, TT, two-turn baby girl, you know me, still with the dolls that I grew beside, all the niggas round me, gotta watch the time, cause it's flying right by. I'm outside in an AMG, right outside, TT, two-turn baby girl, you know me. Who am I? All the niggas round me, right at it die. Gotta watch the time, cause it's flying right by. I just caught a shorty off a Finsta, just the one on hoodie, it's a crenshaw. Way that I've been living unconventional. I'm just trying to make it to the end, you know. Certain things have started getting pissed off. Think we need to have a sun adventure. I could be a man, but maybe down the road. Right now I would rather see my heart turn to chrome. Rather see my heart turn crystal. I can't even front like I don't miss you. Right now I'm just stuck inside a crib on my own. Soon as I free up, I'm about to pop up on your phone. Like I'm outside in an AMG, right outside, PT, baby girl, you know me. Who am I? All the niggas round me, ride or die. Gotta watch your time, cause it's flying right by. Two-turn, baby girl, you know me.
I'm outside in it.
Right outside, PT. Two-turn, baby girl, you know me. All the niggas round me, ride or die. Gotta watch your time, cause it's flying right by. Two-turn, baby girl, you know me. Yeah.
Alright, so here's another tip. As you see, I am using my ring finger to help me isolate. I would suggest you guys to practice on using your fingers to help you isolate, especially when you're hand making. As you've seen, my fan was in my tweezer. I haven't dipped yet. So I like to find my lash that I want, grab the fan, the length of the fan that I want, fan it, go back and find my lash that I want to lash, isolate, go back and dip. And then I run through the glue cup, the little ridges, just to seal that base. And then I dip one more time and go back in and lash that natural lash. So that finger helps me move any extensions out the way or whatever I need to do. So your fingers, your extra fingers are really helpful, as you can see. Also, don't be afraid with taping. Taping helps a ton. I do a lot of tricks with my taping. As you'll see in the video of how I do it, what I do with it. I don't know if I show you everything, but I go just based off of their natural lashes or just how the set is going. I either will go split it in half sometimes, so cover one side with the tape, focus on the other side, or bring back the lashes back, extensions back, and just see those bottom lashes. Taping, guys, I promise you, helps you lash faster, just because you can see better. Just having all the extensions is on there is overwhelming to me personally, so just getting those out the way and help me focus on just what needs to get lashed. It helps a lot with my speed as well. So don't be afraid to use your tape. Get some of that sticky off of it from the tape on the back of your hand as much as you can, and then go in with the taping. And you'll see later on how I take the tape off as well. I know some people are scared to do that. I was in the beginning, but now I know how to properly take it off without hurting their natural lashes. So yeah.
I just want you to focus. Pull me in, pull me closer. Give me that diagnosis. Blow my mind like explosions. Just one touch leaves me helpless. On repeat like it's endless. That she's turned to a white dress. Looks so good, damn, you did this, yeah. I just want you to focus on my love. Just focus on my. I just want you to focus on my love. Just focus on my. I just want you to focus on my love. Just focus on my. Just focus on my love. I just want you to focus on my love. Just focus on my. I just want you to focus on my love. Just focus on my. I just want you to focus on my love. Just focus on my. Just focus on my love. I just want you to focus on my love. Just focus on my. I just want you to focus on my love. Just focus on my. I just want you to focus on my love. Just focus on my. Just focus on my love. I just want you to focus. Gotta keep your composure like you tryna earn that diploma. Do it over and over, yeah. Make it pop Coca-Cola. Keep it hot Barcelona. Bitch, she's turned to a white dress. Looks so good when I'm naked, yeah. I just want you to focus on my love. Just focus on my. I just want you to focus on my love. Just focus on my. I just want you to focus on my love. Just focus on my. Just focus on my love. I just want you to focus on my love. Just focus on my. I just want you to focus on my love. Just focus on my. I just want you to focus on my love. Just focus on my. Just focus on my love. I just want you to focus on my love. Just focus on my. I just want you to focus on my love. Just focus on my. I just want you to focus on my love. Just focus on my. Just focus on my love.
So I'm gonna go in and remove this taping. So I want you guys to watch how I do this. So as you can see with one of my tweezers, I hold down the extension. If the extensions are attached to the tape, then I go in and kind of gently pull down. But most of the time, I'm putting a little light pressure down onto the extensions while I pull away the tape. And when you pull away on the tape, you don't want to pull away towards your way because it's not going to come off easy. What I found is pulling towards the opposite way of you, so towards them. And then that makes it come off so much easier. Sometimes there's extensions that will come with it, and that's okay. It's not the end of the world. As long as they don't all go with it and all their natural lashes go with it, then that's terrible. So just be gentle when you're removing the tape all the time. But just remember to pull away from you and slowly and put pressure down on the extensions with your other tweezer, just so they don't go up with it as well. And then after removing the tape, I like to brush the lashes and then go in those areas again, because sometimes those natural lashes will come back with the extensions that you pulled back. So I like to go through them and see any lashes that I missed and then go and lash those ones. Alright, so we're going to go into that gap area. As you can see, those little smaller lashes. So those are the teenage lash. So they're still able to have extension on. And as you can see, the amount of lash I just showed you, it's going to be a little bit of less amount that I usually was applying. So I still want something light on that area because they're still recovering. And I'm still using 0.03. So I'm just using maybe like 5 in those lash extensions. And then just to give it a cover in that area. And then once you apply those, then brush them. I like to fan before I brush. So using the fan just so it can kind of dry properly. And then I go in with the brush so that it can avoid any stickies while I'm brushing. So I recommend doing that, fanning before you brush, and then you're good to go.
Through drought and famine, natural disasters, my baby has been around for me. Kingdoms are falling, angels be calling. None of that could ever make me leave. Yeah. Every time I look into your eyes,
Alright, so I'm going to go in with my mirror, and I want to show you guys how it looks like so far. And as you can see, in her view, she won't see no gap. But at the top view, as you can see, there is a slight gap, but that is okay because we know what we're trying to do. So don't be afraid to use your mirror, your dental mirror, just so you can see what's going on. You want to make sure the coverage is going the same fullness on all the way across. So you don't want a section that looks darker than another section. So hopefully that makes sense. So you want to make sure you're always double checking your work. The coverage is looking the same all the way through. Another thing I do want to mention is now looking at my video as I'm editing, I am not applying the lashes on the skin. I promise you that. It looks like from this view, because you're not up close, you're just at a certain distance from the camera. So I have a small gap from the base of the extension to the skin. You don't want to put the extensions on the skin because that will clog the pores of that natural lash, cause irritation later on, or maybe give her a reaction and has swollen up eyelids and crusties and all that stuff. That can irritate people's natural lashes or their lash line. So be careful when you're doing that, when you're applying the extensions on their lash. Do not lash on their skin. So we are moving on into the inner corners. As you can see how I did my tape, I pulled those front extensions towards the inner corner back so I can easily lash those bottom layers. Doing this honestly helps a ton with getting a full coverage look, because the bottom layers are also important because that is what's gonna complete your set. If you skip the bottom layers, then your set isn't gonna look as dark as you want it to be, but after doing this, your set is gonna look darker and extra luxurious. So I would suggest to do practice on your taping tricks, and take your time when you're doing the inner corners. You can always like put your taping sideways how this is, but pulling it towards the ear, so your inner corners can spread out more and it'll be way easier to lash those ones. Some you don't have to, because some inner corners are easy to lash, but there's others where they do have a lot of natural lashes, so it does get overwhelming and harder to lash. So just make sure you're using your taping trick. And again, here I am. As you can see, I'm putting pressure onto the extensions and slowly pulling away from me and removing that taping. And I promise it's not hurting them. This girl is knocked out. She is knocked out, and she does not feel a thing. So don't be afraid to do your taping.
Ooh, who would have thought I'd get you? Oh yeah, babe. Ooh, who would have thought I'd get you?
So another tip for you guys, what I do, of course you're only seeing the right side of her eye, not the other one, because my hand will get in the way. So obviously it's getting in the way right now, but I'd rather you just focus on one eye. But I do jump from eye to eye, meaning I'll lash a few on this eye, and then I'll jump to the other eye and lash a few on that one. The reason why I do that is because it avoids also the stickies. So if you're struggling with stickies, try to jump to eye, and this will help with that. And what that does is it gives time for the eye that I just lashed. It gives it time to dry, those lashes that are wet still, and then while I'm working on the other eye, those lashes are drying, and then I go back to it, and then I'm good. Of course, I'm using the fan in between, but I promise you guys, when I first started, I struggled with stickies so much, like you have no idea. It was frustrating, and if you tell my ex-boyfriend at the time that I would always go and complain to him, like, why am I struggling? I just want to be good at what I'm doing and just be where everybody else is at. Of course, he did not know what to do. But until I learned from this YouTuber, her name is Yoyis. If you know her, go. Like, I learned a lot from her. I will link her page down in the description down below so you guys can follow her page. I learned a lot from her. So she taught me that, and I started incorporating that into my sets, and it was a game changer for those stickies, because guys, like it helped a lot. So I really suggest you guys to do that, jump from eye to eye instead of working with just one eye. But if you have a glue that is great at drying and you're able to work with the speed of it, and it dries perfectly for you, and you're able to work with that one eye and then jump to the other eye, then that's great for you. But me, I feel like it's not drying very fast for me. I'm still trying to learn the gist of the glue temperature and all that stuff. So I'm still trying to understand that. But while I'm trying to learn that, I am going to be working from eye to eye, and that really helps me. So I suggest you guys to try it out. And another thing, I'm sorry that I'm saying a lot. It's a really bad habit. So I would try to break that habit for you guys if it bothers you, but it's in my vocabulary at this point. But I will try.
I like dollars, I like diamonds, I like stunning, I like shining, I like $1 million bills. Where's my pen? I'm signing. I like those Balenciagas, the ones that look like socks. I like going to the jeweler, I go box all in my watch. I like texts from my exes when they want a second chance. I like proving niggas wrong, I do what they say I can't. Call me Cardi, Buddy, banging body, spicy money, hot somebody, hotter than a shot, Molly, bird, go, Rari, how about the stoop, jump in the coop, take the bar, top of the roof, dancing up just as hard as I can, eating halal, driving the land, so that bitch I'm sorry, yo, love my coins like Mario, yeah, they call me Cardi B, I run this shit like cardio, I'm missing in the gang, sit right, gang, jump and blow the rain, oh, he's so handsome, what's his name, yeah. I need the dollars. She just beat it up like pinata. Tell the job to close the curtains. We still that stay prepared. Como si ya tú tengo el azúcar. Un queda medio y se fue de pecho como Ginny Luca. Te vamos a tumbar la peluca y arranca pa'l carajo, cabrón, que a ti no te va a pasar la boca. Mi deriva Valenciaga me recibe en la entrada. Sí, like americana. Y no te me hagas, tengo verde vivo, topito mi cara. No soy por tu mente, donde quiera que hayas escuchado mi gente. Ya no soy high, soy como el testa rosa. No soy el que se la vive y también el que la goza. Goza, es la cosa, mami es la cosa. El que mira sufre y el que toca goza.
So what I'm going to do now is just check my work to make sure there is no stickies. So I advise to do this before you are finishing. And also double check if you have missed any lashes that you can lash. So just use your tweezers to run through the extensions. And if there is a stuck one, just peel it off gently. You don't want to hurt them, of course. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Follow me, many miles. 1, 2, check it out. Let me break it down. 1, 2, check it out. Follow me, many miles. 1, 2, break it down. Let me break it down. This track is nasty like pornography. Word to mommy, I like Joe, but he's sloppy. That Poppy got a brand new bag, for real. I taking Kilo Deal like Shaq. Ask Michael Jackson who's bad. He says I am, but the queen not trash. Yeah, I'm bad enough to let my pants sag. I be in Vegas where 702 be at. Check that.
Okay, so we're almost done with this set. I hope you guys learned a lot during this video, and if you still have more questions, feel free to comment down below and I will respond to you as best as I can. Also follow me on all my social medias, Facebook, Instagram at Liz.Aesthetics 11, just to see what I am uploading over there. And also, please comment down below what videos you would like me to make for you guys. So, because I want to make sure you guys are learning as well. I'm still learning. We're all going to learn every time because there's going to be new trends, new styles. And I am willing to teach you guys as I'm learning as well. So, yeah, we're almost done with this set. So, keep on watching. Alright, so we are now at the end of the set. So what I'm doing now is brushing through her set. Of course, that other eye, I am pretty much done. So you want to double check your work before you're completely done, because you don't want a gap that is missing and then she's going to notice it and you're going to have to go back and taper and all that stuff. So always double check your work before taking the pads off. Make sure you are lashing all the way towards the inner corner, also the outer corners. I'll make a video on when to make an exception with that. So Yeah, but for now we are going to double check the work. Brush them, make sure there's no lashes that are getting caught in your brush as well, because sometimes glue gets touched when you're lashing, if you know what I mean. Just make sure you run your tweezers through that just to separate any hairs that has glue on them. And then what I'm going to do next is use a fan to dry her lashes. This is very important. You want to make sure you're drying her lashes for at least like a good minute. You don't want them to leave with burning eyes, because that is not normal. You want to make sure you're looking out for their safety while they're driving, because if they're driving and their eyes are burning, what are they going to do? And that's the worst feeling. I've had it happen before. So just keep drying. Make sure they're comfortable, that their eyes are not burning when they leave. Next, what I'm doing is checking to see if there's any stickies that are at the bottom. Sometimes bottom lashes get untucked and they get lashed, so just lift up her lid. I like to do it this way and then detach whatever hair is getting caught with the extension. Remove the gel pad gently, remove any other taping, and you're ready to go.
I would like to get to know if I could be the kind of girl that you could be down for. 'Cause when I look at you, I feel something tell me that you're the kind of guy that I should make a move on. And if I don't let you know, then I won't be for real. I could be wrong, but I feel like something could be going on. The more I see it wrong, then it becomes so true. There ain't no other for me, it's only you. Every time.
Alright, so I'm giving her one last brush before she opens her eyes. Make sure everything's in place. But thanks for watching this video, ladies. Please comment down below if you like it. Here is how her set looked like. Nice and blended. No gap that you can notice. But yes, I will see you at the next video. Peace.